Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to see Bayes theorem and naive Bayes classifier and an example. Okay. As we discussed before, naive Bayes classifier is a best example of supervised learning. Okay. Supervised learning, once again we recall the concept, learning under supervision. The training data contains labels also, and the training is with the labeled data, and the test cases we will give, and we will see how much accurate is the classification. And this is a supervised learning technique and a classification. Classification means the output can be put into discrete number of classes. As I told you, the customer classification. Whenever a customer is coming to a shop, we just want to predict whether he is going to buy the computer or not buy the computer depending on his age and income. There we considered only two parameters, the customer's age and income, and based on that whether he is going to buy the computer or not buy the computer. And here the classification is two, binary, whether he is going to buy it or not buy. Buying a computer and not buying a computer. Okay, this is basically the idea behind classification, and here we will see the basics of Bayes theorem, and we will see the naive Bayes classifier. And Bayes theorem, it is an extension of conditional probability. I hope you will remember the conditional probability, and Bayes theorem is used to revise the previously calculated probabilities based on new information, and this is developed by Thomas Bayes, and it is an extension of conditional probability. And this is actually the statement, the formal statement of Bayes theorem, and here you can see the probability of y given x is equal to probability of x given y into probability of y given by probability of x. Okay, don't worry about the statement. This will be more clear once we consider the example. And this is called posterior probability. It's very important. The terms are very important. This is the posterior probability. And this posterior probability is actually our indentation. We will be computing the posterior probability. And likelihood we can obtain from the data gathered, or we can learn from the data gathered, and the prior information will be always given. And these are actually the important one. And the probability of x, okay, and this is the constant factor, the evidence. Prior probability means the information we have already from the, we have gained already from the observation. And posterior is actually the probability distribution of the variable y after observing the variable x. And likelihood is the likelihood of observing. It's a likelihood of observing x given that y is happened. Okay. And just consider a simple example. Then the concept will be clear. A drilling company has estimated a 40% chance of striking oil for their new wells. Okay. Then what is it? Whether it is a prior probability or a posterior probability or likelihood. Just think in your mind. The detailed test has been scheduled for more information, and the detailed test is actually an event. Historically, 60% of successful wells had detailed test, and 20% of unsuccessful wells have had detailed test. Okay, here successful wells are there, unsuccessful wells are there. Given that this well has been scheduled for a detailed test, given well has been scheduled for a detailed test, what is the probability that the well will be successful? Okay, this is actually the concept called revising the probability. It is used to revise previously calculated probabilities based on new information. This is exactly what the meaning of that statement. And the new information is this well has been scheduled for a detailed test. Then what is the probability that the well will be successful? Then the events are actually successful well and unsuccessful well. Yes and U denote successful well and unsuccessful well. Probability of successful well, that is a prior knowledge. Okay, 0.4. Probability of successful well is 0.4. Therefore, probability of unsuccessful well will be 1 minus 0.4, that is 0.6. They are prior probability. They are given or known facts from the observing the data set. Define the detailed test event as D. Then conditional probability. This is actually the conditional probability. 60% of successful wells have had detailed test and 20% of unsuccessful wells had detailed test. The conditional probability is probability of detailed test given successful well, that is 0.6. Probability of detailed test, conditional probability given unsuccessful well is 0.2. Our goal is given that the well has been scheduled for detailed test. Given that the well has been scheduled for detailed test, what is the probability that it is a successful well? And that is actually revising the probability. And just apply the Bayes theorem, then we will get, this is actually partitioning the sample space as we had in the introductory class of probability. Just go through the probability basics, conditional probability theorem and all. And the sample space has been partitioned into these two, that is successful well and unsuccessful well. And here you can see probability of the given that the well is scheduled for detailed test. What is the probability that this is successful well? Probability of S given D. And this is nothing but posterior probability. That is actually equal to likelihood. That is likelihood, the reverse actually, and the original guess. Successful well, given that the well is successful, what is the probability? Conditional probability that a detailed test has been given. Probability of D given S into probability of S given by probability of D. That is actually probability of D means probability of detailed test. Okay, detailed test means detailed test is given two answers, successful well or unsuccessful well. Therefore, probability of D will be probability of D given S into probability of S, probability of D given U into probability of U. And these are the facts already given. And here we can see the revised probability of success is 0.67. Given that this well has been scheduled for a detailed test, the probability of success is improved here, that is 0.667. And this is actually revising the probability. Therefore, this statement is very important. You need to understand the concept behind this one. Bayes theorem is used to revise previously calculated probability. And don't think Bayes theorem is exactly same as conditional probability. No, both are different. We are actually revising the previously calculated probability, and this is an extension of conditional probability. Okay, this is an extension of conditional probability. And here you can see that the example, the thing, okay. Given that the detailed test, the revised probability of a successful well has actually improved to 0.667. And probability of unsuccessful well, also we can calculate the revised probability is 0.33. Okay. And the prior probability will be there, conditional probability is also there. And this is actually the joint probability. Okay. And another example of Bayes theorem. Okay, see, a doctor knows that cold causes fever 50% of the time. Cold causes fever 50% of the time. That means it is it's actually cold causes fever 50% of the time. Okay, that means probably cold causes fever. Cold causes fever. Okay. Given that the patient has cold, what is the chance of fever? Given that the patient, conditional probability. Cold, if the patient is having cold, then what is the probability of having fever? That is actually 0.5. Probability of CF given C. Probability of fever given cold. And this is what is actually conditional probability. And prior probability of any patient having cold is 1 by 50,000. Prior probability of any patient having fever is 1 by 20. Okay, this prior probability we are observing from the data set. And if a patient has fever, what is the probability that he or she has cold? What is the probability that he or she has cold? Then this is actually revising the probability. The patient has fever. What is the probability that he is having cold? Then how we will write? The patient has fever. What is actually occurred? Fever. Okay, patient has fever. What is the probability that he is having cold? Probability of cold given fever. That will be, according to Bayes theorem, we will write probability of F given C into probability of C divided by probability of F. Then we will get the value as 0.002. Okay. Then this example you can take as a homework. You can do. This is also another famous example. Does a patient have cancer or not? Okay. And you can find out all the probabilities and you can find out the answer. Okay. Then, in the context of supervised machine learning, what is this X and Y? So far, we were considering only mathematics, okay, X, Y, and all. And what is this X and Y? That is actually the features. A new test case will be a new person is coming. Okay, just assume or recall the same example. We have collected age and income of customers coming to our shop. And we have drawn a relationship between like this classification depending on age and income whether that person is going to buy the computer or not buy the computer. And here what are actually the features? Age and income. Then when a new customer enters the shop, his age may be 30 and his income is 1 lakh. And we want to know whether that customer belongs to the category buying the computer or the category not buying the computer. This is actually classification. Classification into different baskets or assign different discrete number of class labels to a new test case or a new person entering that. And I hope it's clear. When a new customer enters the shop, depending on the age and income, we want to put a label on that person whether he is going to buy the computer or not buy the computer. And here the features are actually age and income and category will be two here binary, whether he is going to buy the computer or not buy the computer. Then it will be probability of features. Then according to Bayes theorem, we can rephrase it as probability of features given category into probability of the class category divided by probability of features. Okay. This is what we are going to apply. This is how we are going to apply Bayes rule in the context. And this is another example. You can try the same thing. Okay. Similar to that. And here the relationship between attribute set and class variable is non-deterministic. These are some properties. Even if the attributes are same, the class label may differ in training set and hence not predicted with a certainty. And these are some challenges, okay, we are going to address. And if it is a categorical attribute, then we can easily do it. And if the attribute is continuous, then we should find the standard deviation mean and all through a Gaussian density function. Computation of the posterior probability is easy. Okay, what actually we are learning? For each instance, we are learning the posterior probability. Okay. And assumptions in Naive Bayes are all features are independent and unrelated to each other. These are very important. And the data has a class conditional independence also. Class I told you like the example before. There are two classes whether it will be buying or not buying like that. Sometimes the classes may be 3 or 4 or 5. Okay, it need not be always binary. Then the Bayesian classifier, you can consider each attribute and class label as random variable and see the attributes are A1, A2, AN. The goal is to predict a class C for each instance and we want to find the value of the class given these features. Okay. If there are two classes, suppose 0 and 1, then the n features are given A1, A2, etc. AN. We calculate the probability, the posterior probability of class 0 given A1, A2, AN. We calculate the posterior probability of class 1 given the features A1, A2, AN. And if there are one more class, then we will calculate probability of class 1, 2 given A1, A2, etc. AN. then which is actually the maximum value, that will be the class of the new test case. Okay, then can we estimate this value directly from the data? We can directly estimate. We have to compute the posterior probability using Bayes theorem with likelihood and prior probability. Okay, this is important. Then we have to choose the class label which maximizes the posterior probability, and accordingly we will predict. Okay, then how we are going to compute these features? This prior probability will already there. How we are going to estimate this? This is actually the question, and this is a rephrasing there. I hope I have already explained this, and just consider an example. Okay, here there are 10 data records and the columns are refund. The features are refund, marital status, taxable income, and the class you can see here binary classification, no and yes only. And refund, some refund, and refund is also only 2 value yes no. Marital status 3 value, single, married and divorced. That means these two are categorical attributes. Whereas taxable income is something like a real line. It is falling, income is falling on a real line. It is not a categorical value. And for discrete attribute and categorical attribute, we apply separate techniques for computing the probability. Okay, let us first compute the prior probability of each class. This is the data set given, how we will apply, what is actually training and what we have learned from the training, and how we will apply the model for predicting or classifying the new test case. That we will see. Okay, and here the class probability, class conditional probability, here you can see the prior probability of the class. The prior probability of the class and class conditional probability and all, we have to compute from the data set, the training data set. And here how many classes are there? You just count how many no instances are there. There are 7 no instances. Therefore, probability of no class is 7 by 10 and probability of yes class is 3 by 10. Okay, you compute and keep it. And the discrete attribute, the general formula is probability of AI given CK is probability. Just to count the number of instances given a particular class no and given a particular class X. For example, consider refund. And what is actually the status of refund equal to yes given the class no? How many no classes are there? 7. Okay, how many yes instances for no? You can see how many yes instances. Here 2 and here 1. Okay, out of 7, probability of refund equal to yes, probability of refund equal to yes, you can write in the notebook, yes, given the class is no. Okay, given the class is no n, given the class is n, that is actually equal to how many we counted? 3 yes for no. That means it is 3 divided by 7. Am I right? It is 3 divided by 7. And what is yes for yes class? How many yes instances? 3 yes instances. Is there any yes? No. No yes for yes class. Therefore, the probability of refund equal to yes, given yes, that will be 0 by 3, that is actually 0. Probability of status equal to married, given no. Probability of status equal to married, you can see 1 married here, 2 married here, then 3 married, 4 married. Probability of status equal to married given no will be 4 by 7. And for each discrete, divorced, then single, then for all those things we can compute the class conditional probability with respect to the classes. Here only 2 classes. That means probability of refund equal to yes given the class is no. Probability of refund equal to yes given the class is yes. Probability of refund equal to no given the class is no. Probability of yes given the class is yes. Okay, and here you can see that for the discrete attribute you can compute like that. Discrete we can do like that, but for the other one, this is not a categorical attribute. And what we have to do, we have to find what we are going to do for class no, for the income, for class no, we have to, no means how many instances? 7 instances. Take that 7 values for income, find the sample mean, find the variance and use the normal distribution probability density function, then substitute it, you are going to get the value. Then this is for yes also, for income, for class yes also we have to compute sample mean, sample variance and take the Gaussian density, normal distribution density function and substitute it. And this is how we are going to deal it. Then this is how the calculation, we will compute for everything, and this is the naive-Bayes classifier. This is actually the learning phase. From the data set, we will learn the probability of class, class probability and all class conditional probability, that is likelihood. What actually we are learning from the training phase, we are obtaining from the data set, we are learning the likelihood and the prior probability. I hope it is clear. From the learning phase, during the training phase, we are we are learning actually the likelihood and prior probability. Okay, this you have recorded here. Okay, this box you have got and you learned and this is there in your memory. Then this is actually the new test case coming and the values for the features are refund equal to no, married and income is equal to 120k. Then which class this new test case X belongs to, whether yes or no. Then what we have to do, we have to find X given class no, probability of X given class yes. Using Bayes theorem, we will be finding the probability. Then the probability of X given class equal to yes is 0. Probability of X given class equal to no is this, which is actually maximizing, which probability maximizes, that will be the class label for this new test case. Therefore, class label for this new test case is obviously no, because 0.0024 is greater than 0 and this is the maximum value, and this is how we are going to apply that. And example, another example, it's already there. This you can try. The name, give birth, can fly, live in water, have legs. Class is only binary. Here also binary classes, mammals and non-mammals. And here you can see probability of attribute given M. How we are finding all these attributes. And this is actually the test case. Yes, no, yes, no. And for the features. And what actually it belongs to, whether mammal or non-mammal. Okay, this you can try yourself. And this is once again, this is actually the Bayes rule. Okay, this is actually the Bayes rule. And the model parameters, okay, for the naive-Bayes classifier, the model parameters are likelihood and prior. Likelihood and prior. Okay. And here you can see that the algorithm, okay, if F1, F2, etc., Fn are the features and there are P classes C1, C2, etc., Cp, the generic algorithm is you compute the class probability for each class label 1 to P, then compute the conditional probability, that is probability of feature 1 given the class is Ck, probability of feature 2 given the class is Ck, probability of feature n given the class is Ck for all values of features and class label. These two are actually the training phase. Then you compute the posterior probability. Then you find which is the maximum value among this posterior probability. Then assign that label to the test instance. This is actually the naive-Bayes algorithm. I'll show you the implementation of naive-Bayes now. And remember that naive-Bayes is very popular. It's a very popular and most useful algorithm. And for actually the text classification also, bag of words. Okay, bag of words will be using the naive-Bayes algorithm. Though it is very naive in nature, it's a very powerful model for classification. Okay, it's a very powerful model for classification. And I hope you have seen, okay, One more example actually I considered at the end. Here you can see this is a weather data set. Outlook, temperature, humidity, windy and class. You can see that this is outlook, temperature, humidity, windy, and the example is play tennis, whether we can play tennis or not. And the class is not play or play. And based on N and T will be labeled. And there are 14 data instances. And outlook is sunny, overcast, and rainy. Okay. Then temperature is hot, mild, and cool. Humidity is high and normal. Windy, it is false true. All are categorical. Okay. No continuous output, or we need not find any sample mean or variance as with the thing. And what we have to do, we have to find a table. Okay, for outlook, we have to compute probability of sunny given P, probability of overcast given P, probability of rain given P. Then probability of sunny given no, probability of overcast given no, probability of rain given no. And temperature you can see, you have to find out probability of hot given P, probability of mild given P, probability of cool given P. Then for hot, you have to, again for these three features, you have to find it for no class also. Humidity, it is only two categorical value, high and normal. Find the post in likelihood for humidity, given the class is P. Find the likelihood given the class is N. For windy also, it is categorical. Find the likelihood for given class is P and find the likelihood for given class is no. Okay, therefore this is the data set. And how we are going to implement naive Bayes in Python. We can see that I hope you are seeing that. And here the weather data set, that same data set, okay, that you can download. If you search from Google, you will get the data set, weather data set, that actually we are reading from the CSV file. And here you can see the splitting. Okay, I hope it is visible to you. Here you can see the splitting is, I have taken 75%. The ratio is 75. 75% of the instance for training and 25% for testing. And training data set is stored in train D and testing is stored in test D. Then the model is build a naive Bayes model from the training data set. And what actually the naive Bayes model actually does? Any idea? What actually the naive Bayes function will be doing? They build a naive Bayes model, that is actually the learning phase. We will compute the prior probability. You can see here we are computing the prior probability as we have done manually. Then we will find the likelihood. And for each class you have to find the likelihood. Actually for each class you have to find the likelihood. Then we will find, okay, if it is not like that, if it is a categorical one, you have to see the, just one second, it has gone to a different page, okay. And here see that if it is not a categorical value, then using the built-in function of Python, you have to find standard deviation and mean, then substitute in the probability density function. Then the likelihood value, we are storing it in likelihood. Okay, the list likelihood, we will be storing it. And the prior probability and likelihood, these are the two information we learned. The model is actually the likelihood and prior. You can see the model is actually the likelihood and prior. And build a naive Bayes model means the likelihood and prior actually we are building. Then after that the test cases will be given, and here I have given 3. The last 3 rows of the test cases, and classify model for each test case what it will do. It will, based on the likelihood and prior probability, it will compute the posterior probability. Likelihood into prior is actually the posterior probability. The denominator is a constant one, you can remove that. Therefore, for each one, it is enough you find out likelihood into prior. Then we will, for which class is maximizing, that we will find the maximum probability. Index of whether this is binary means 2 posterior for one class, okay, one instance. Then which one is actually, how many posterior probability we will compute if there are 3 classes, 3 values. And this is actually stored in a dictionary, and which one is the highest probability, that will be the value. And here you can see that the answer I have already tested. These are the intermediate value. This you can see how many overcast, rainy and all, each proper probability we have computed. Then this is actually for the cases, test cases, and these are the probabilities we are getting. And here you can see that for the no class the probability is this, and for yes class it is like this. Therefore this is classified into yes. 1 means yes, and for the second instances no is the same priority, yes is this. This is also classified into 1. And for the third, it is no class is 0.201, and this is 0.202, and this is also classified into 1. And one misclassification out of the 3, and the accuracy is going to be 66.667. And this is how actually the naive-Bayes classifier works, and you can work out manually with the same examples. You can go through that. And naive-Bayes classifier, play tennis example, it is given. Okay, I have given manually also, we can do that. And the independent hypothesis makes computation possible, optimal classifiers. And here you can see that designing, like using naive-Bayes, we can have face recognition, disease diagnosis, fraud detection in e-commerce, worm detection in network packets, spam filtering in email, and recommended articles in a newspaper, recommended books, movies or music or jokes, DNA sequences, spoken words, handwritten letters, and all these are some activities, something where we can apply the naive-Bayes classifier. And remember that it's a powerful classification model, though it is very naive in its appearance. Okay, thank you my dear students.